Hi everybody, nice to have you here. Today we're going for a journey, your journey. So it's the most important journey we have, not the movies or films we watch at TV. No. So depending on what we experience and what we do in life, that change the way we act and think. So if we do something that is positive, we have a tendency to do more of that. And if it's a bad experience, we don't want to go there anymore. We don't want to do it. So, for example, I have my coffee here. Why do I like to take a cup of coffee in the morning? Yeah, somewhere in my history back, I had my first cup of coffee. And it was something there happens that made me decide to take another cup, and so on. And if it was good or it was functional or beneficial for me, I continue. So probably there were some benefits with drinking coffee. Well, I know it exactly, but I will not talk about that today. So this channel is about building systems, and it's mostly ecological systems, building your farm or building your food system, but it can be about anything in your system, how you live your life. It's just how you think about it. You can take this information, this permaculture information, and just put it into your context, and that is what makes it so interesting. So we can say that the question here can be, how many different kind of farms are there? Yeah, the same amount as there is farmers, right? But the world have a tendency to copy and paste. So we industrialize everything. So we just do things repetitively. And this was a hard word. So what I mean with this, you can have a milk cow operation, and they looks the same all over Western Europe. You have a house, you have cows there, and they eat the same way, they drink the same way, you treat them the same way, and it's repeatable every day because that's functional as an industrial way, in an industrial way. And that is a totally boring system to be in. But many things in our society is this boring system building, effectively building thing we have in society. Yes, that we call industrialization. We sit and do the same thing over and over again. And that's too boring. I would never do that. That's not how I live my life and have lived my life. So I will come into the details. So I will tell you today why I'm more or less vegetarian. So it's actually not about being vegetarian, but of course that will affect the way I built my food system, because we should figure out what we like to eat or what we like to do. Because when you create your system, it's not about only eating. You have more interests in life that should go into this system, and it would, become a pattern, a bigger picture of how you want to be creative in your system. Yes, it sounds obscure, but I will explain it. So I'm building a farm, but it's not like a traditional farm as you think about. I will never have a cow standing in a barn eating hay, and we connect machines to it, and you suck milk from it and you send it away. Of course, I will not have that kind of farm because I'm not that kind of person. I think the world and the universe have gone too far. We have moved away from that old system. It's functional. in one way, but it's so stupid in another way. So for me, I want to be in a live system that change all the time, that trigger interest and things happen in the system. I don't want to work with one cow. I want to work with millions of animals because then things happen, the interaction. Because an ecological system can only work if you have all the parts, bacteria, fungi, soil, roots, insects, bugs, others, animals, trees, bushes, plants, When everything of these interact together, then you have a biodiversity system. It's a big system that interact with its small parts, and this creates resilience, nothing else. They have filled all the niches with different kind of, you know, parts, animals, So no ecological system can work without animal. And that's why I want to take up that I'm a vegan, how I think about it, and how this changed, or this is how I do things because of my experience in life. And you have your experience in life. So when you watch this and listen a little bit, I want not to think so much about what I'm saying about my things, but I want it to trigger things in your life that changed because you experienced special things in your life. So, I was very young. And every summer I went with my grandmother to my mother's cousins, and they have a nice farm, and they have cows and bulls and so on. So I had two friends, Uttu and Nero. They were two big meatballs. And I was there, and of course my grandmother was really scared for me being there with these big animals. But I loved it. And I didn't want to be with the cows because they were girls. So I want to be with the boys, so these big bulls. Anyway, one summer I came and they were gone. So I asked, "Hey, Boo, where is Utto and Nero?" "Oh, they're gone. They have done their things, and we have slaughtered them, and now they are meat." And I was, "What?" So that, I was young and a little bit dumb also. I think, what? A cow, my bull, is that meat? Okay. Oh, and I start to think, I was young, and I don't want to eat my friends, like normal people. You don't want to eat your dog or your cat and so on. So, okay. So I didn't talk to him more that summer because I was angry because he have killed my friends. So that was my first experience. So, I start to think. So this was one of these big experiences. Number two, I got a rabbit. We had them in cages, of course, boxes there, and we feed them. And I didn't think that these were meat rabbits. I thought they had them as pets because they were cute. So I got my pet, and I feed it with dandelion leaves every day, so it's really fat and happy. And one Sunday evening, Sunday dinner, we were eating there, and I said, "Oh, this is really good. What is it?" "Oh, it's rabbit." What? Again, not smart. And I ate it fast because I knew I have to finish, otherwise I can't leave. That's the rules when you're a kid. So I went out, and of course it was my rabbit. Why? Because I fed it so much. So that was the biggest rabbit, the fattest rabbit there was, So, number one, number two experience. Oh, I ate my own rabbit. I ate my own friend, Oh, this was horrible. Third one. All the men were inside the farm and doing stuff, and I thought, "What are you doing there?" "Oh, we're slaughtering chickens." "What?" "Yes, it's horrible, so don't come in." And you're a little boy, "Don't come in." "Oh, okay, I should also be in there." Yeah, so I went in, and just a couple of seconds in, one chicken lost its head and it's jumped out of this cone, they're upside down and fly out there, so running around there with the blood and no head. And I felt like it chased me. Oh, it's chasing me. Oh my God. And I went out again, never went in. So, you know, third experience. My God, young little boy living on the farm. That's farm life. And time went on, and I get older and started with martial art, and it was Shaolin Kung Fu. And it's a Buddhistic tradition, so it's ahimsa. You should not kill, you should not harm other sentient beings. And you train and you live in this with this idea, and they expands, and you research more and you read and you become more or less a Buddhist. And always feed into your consciousness, your mind. And one day I decided, no, I don't feel good with eating so much meat. So less and less during the year. And one day I said, now I can eat other things. I'm smart enough. I can eat other things. So you see, this is my story. So you see, now with this knowledge, you can see why I will not create a normal farm. I will create it differently. And this is the fantastic things that we can do today. We have so much knowledge, and there are so many things we can do in a system. Then I have my interest for animals and birds and so on. So I want to build a farm that actually maximize the amount of different kind of species of animals and everything. Biodiversity, this is what the world needs today. So I'm a little bit aligned with that. So why do I think about things like that? Yeah, we are there in the world right now. I'm not exceptionally special. I'm normal. But our time now is special. We have the knowledge we have now, and there coming new knowledge all the time. So now we can do it. Now we know much more than when I was a kid. So today I can build fantastic biological system that supports me with everything I need. My grandparents didn't have this knowledge, so they did what they did. They grew chickens, they grew, meat rabbits and so on. That's what they had to do in their times, and that's how their knowledge worked out. That was their experience. My experience is different. Your experience will be different. Maybe you want a cow. The best in life is cheese and butter and milk and hamburgers and so on. Then you should build your system around a cow. It's going to be tough, but you can do it. But mine will be different, and I will use animal different. So how can you have a farm when you don't eat meat? Yeah, the simple answer is, of course, you grow vegetables, but this is not so simple. Or you grow fruit. You cannot have an apple or an apple tree without animal. You have to build a system around that. And yeah, but you can have honeybees. Well, I can. But are they the best pollinators? No, they are not. Bumblebees are much better. And so on. There are other bugs and other bees and insects that are much, much better on pollinating things than bumblebee or that honeybees. So, if you like honey, you really like honey, then you put in honeybees in your system, but not too much. So we have to absorb. You have to observe what's happening and measure and see how many, maybe only one beehive, not 10 or 20, 50, like industrial, as many as you can. No, you have so many beehives so that it's functional, but not wipe out the, all the other kinds of bees, because we need them too. Good for you, good for others. Both building nature and building your food system. This is the line you have to feel. And this, for me, I like this. People want, maybe it's more simple. They just plow the ground, fertilizer, and grow potatoes or something. Go with a tractor and pull it up. Fine, it's a system. It's a food system. It's not resilient. It's not benefit in the long run for anybody. The quality of the potatoes will of course not be so good, and it's not healthy, but it works. But you can also choose my way of building together. Yes, you can have potatoes, of course, a lot of potatoes, but you work with nature. You build the system. You put down, and it's easy to pick up. You don't need a tractor, and so on. So with this little YouTube I have now, why am I talking about it? Because I want to inspire you to be a little bit interested in building your own system, thinking like this, and having your own food system. So you are resilient. If something happened, you have food. But not only that, you also had good food, so you don't get sick. This is the most important. So this with when you start to see other pictures, because we have a certain picture of a farm, how it looks like, and it limits us. But the world today have so many nuances that we don't think about. So we often think about the farm like a normal farm, like the farms we saw when we grew up with cows and pigs and chickens and so on. But it doesn't have to be like that. That's the old way, boring way. In the new system, you choose depending on who you are and what you want to see around you, because it's also about the environment. What environment do you want to wake up in and look out to? And how interesting is a world without animals? It's not interesting. Yeah, we don't want so many mosquitoes, but there's so many ways to deal with that, because mosquitoes are food to so many other insects. So if you're spraying every insect you see, you mostly kill all the other insects that eat mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes survive. Mosquitoes are really good at surviving. So we have a history of our life who shape who we are, and we should take that as an opportunity, because that will shape me how, in this case, we built our system. That means my system are not the same as my neighbor. I've already inspired my neighbor a little bit. So he have 2 beehives. I don't have beehives, but he have. That's his. I will benefit from my neighbor's bees in one way. And sometimes our neighbor do stupid things. I have also neighbors who spray, farmers coming with a tractor and plow everything. So I have to protect myself from these neighbors, but I also have my good neighbors who think like me and want to do the same thing as I do, and you cooperate with your friends and you try to avoid not enemies, but yeah, a little bit enemies. So you build a fence, yeah, and so on. Try to, work. So it's so fantastic to get into this mindset of building your world around you, because we can. We are humans, so we can do it, and we should use that knowledge for good. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Not be lazy and sitting and just eating pizza and get sicker and sicker. So building's the system. So in this video I want to really trigger you to see, oh, what do I want to do? What can I do? Oh, I want to start with something. Maybe it's only potatoes in a bucket, but that doesn't matter. I can show you. We can talk about it. Just send me something in the comments, and we can discuss it. And we're starting with something small. We are there, but at the same time, we have to also start the process. Who am I? What do I like? And go from there. That is the most interesting, not copy and doing industrial things that you should do exactly like I do, copy paste. So easy to copy paste, but it's so boring. We have AI now, they can copy paste perfectly, better than me ever. I will never ever be as good as copy and paste as ChatGPT and this. But sitting and thinking what I am interested in, what I like to see, and what I want to try in my ecosystem, and see what kind of frogs I have and how they interact with each other and other animals. I can sit there and watch for hours. What is happening? Is it me that created it? No, I was only there pushing a little bit. Nature created it, but I was, a little bit involved, pushing it in my direction. Of course, I built the lake. I dig a hole. Not personally, but the caterpillar came and dig it. It's a huge hole. And then now, what's happening? Now I collect water from the rain. The rain and the water comes in, and now I see the whole evolution. The whole system starts to go together there. This is farming for me. So as if they ask me, but you don't have any animals in your farm. Well, I'm the one that have all the animals. You, the traditional farmer, you only have a cow and a goat and a pig and a chicken, I have all the other animals. And yes, I will have chickens. You must have chickens. So go on, start to think about how to build your system and